Welcome to Take Center Stage. This is Marisa Bludor, and I am your host, and I'm the editor-in-chief of Own It Magazine and Publishing. Taking center stage and owning it with me today is a best-selling author. She is a founder of a nonprofit organization. She is all in the community, doing great things and mighty things, and she is a serious mover and shaker. She is Dr. Darcele Robinson. Taking center stage and owning it with me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here with me.
It's a blessing to be with you, Marissa.
Oh, thank you so very much. So I want to share, you wear so many hats. And we were talking about this backstage in regards to all the hats that you wear, being flexible and fluid with time management and all that other stuff, and dealing with all the things that you deal with. Share a little bit about yourself. What made you decide to go into having your own foundation, and then going into publishing your own book, and how you take that book into the community and educate and empower young people, and just really putting your handprint on the educational system. So share with us about who you are.
Well, I always wanted to be a social worker. And so I do work. I am a clinical social work therapist. And I do adults and children. And my father passed away in 2015 when I started this nonprofit, and it was just online. And then when he passed, I kind of like put my head in it, and I just kept on and kept on because I had a grieving moment. And so it just started flowing. It just started flowing. And, I love the name of your magazine, Own It, because, baby, I owned it. And so, I started doing turkey giveaways. I started doing clothing giveaways. I still do hoodie for the homeless at the Center of Hope here in Flint, Michigan. And so now, after I received my MSW, I decided to do another curriculum program. It's Creative Writing Journal with the Author. And so the children here needs it. Because they're struggling in writing and reading here due to COVID. And so we created this curriculum for, the Genesee County area here, and it has been working. I partnered with the YMCA and Motherly Intercession, and it's been flowing. It's been flowing, and I do human trafficking curriculum. I do crisis intervention. I do grief support. That is my specialty. So, it might seem like I'm all over the place, but I have a lot of people that support me with these different programs.
Yeah, and so I want to step back and go into the LLMSW. And I want you to share, because when you talk about all the things that you do, it's captured under that LLMSW. And so people who don't understand psychology and human behavior, and all that comes out of that, they would say that you're wearing so many hats and how are you wearing it? But under the umbrella of psychology, mental health and wellness, we do capture all of that. It's all a part of the psychology, the psyche, and how the psyche and life experiences impact your mindset, your emotions, how you process things, just your lifespan development. So talk to the audience who's not familiar with those acronyms. Share with them what those initials mean.
Well, as a clinical therapist, sometimes we have a lot of trauma in our lives, and sometimes certain things trigger, and it can be a simple thing. And I will give an instance where one of my clients was in the grocery store, like Walmart, and he stated that this little boy was wanting this toy, and his mother was like, I can't give it because we only have $25 for the rest of the week. And it triggered that client because he remembered something that happened to him during Christmas that they didn't have a Christmas because they got cut off through, the state of Michigan. And so little things does trigger us, and we don't even realize that it has triggered us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's all about, helping the client, helping the patient become self-aware so that they understand where these emotions are coming from, how to navigate successfully through them so that they don't have a total
And
breakdown.
that's it, navigate, because a lot of people don't know how to navigate it because they don't know how to handle it.
Right, right, right. And so they're reactive rather than proactive. And self-awareness helps you be more proactive and also too strategic, so that you recognize in advance, immediately when it's happening, and how to have a positive or you know less traumatizing experience as a result of it. And we all have triggers. Triggers can be good or they can be bad. They can be good, they can be bad, whatever. But the point of this is to say that's why you do all that you do. It's really a way of helping people become more self-aware so that they're not overwhelmed, right? So they're not overwhelmed, and they can still live a fulfilling life, even though they've gone through some trauma in life. There's still redemption from that, if you know how to come back from it. And if you have a professional like yourself able to help them come back from it. Let's talk about your books.
Okay.
Let's talk. Nana Darcele, come on, talk to us about your publication.
So my first book is Save Silly Millie. It's about my granddaughter. Her dog had passed away, and she was triggered because of the passing. And so, when she was with me that weekend, we talked about it. And I said, well, tell me how you loved Millie. Give me some information about what you loved about her. And so she started telling me, and I started writing it down, and we had like a couple of pages. And I'm like, okay. So, we're thinking about the good things. And so I wanted to help her where she could heal.
Yeah.
Because it affected her emotionally and socially.
Yeah.
And so we put the book together, and it's been a hit. It has been truly a hit.
Mm-hmm. And I love the covers. I love how everything is so colorful. It's so bright and brilliant. And so there's different stories though.
Right. The second book is Surprise at 5. Is she wanted a surprise birthday party. So I named it Surprise at 5. But all the books is Kagan's Adventure. And so the third book is about Nana Darcele's house, things that goes on with us cooking and doing crafts and different things like that. And so we do have a Christmas book that's coming out in December, and it's Dear Santa, They're the Naughty Ones. That's the title of the book.
That sounds too cute. I love it. 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 Oh my goodness. And so you got you're doing the authorship. And now how did you enter into going into the school system to help them?
Well, one of my sorority sisters was a social worker at one of the schools. And so she contacted me, and she was like, hey, we heard about some of your books and some of your programs, and we want to know if you can come in and do them. And I'm like, me? And she was like, yes, you. And so I decided to try it out and see how it worked. And so then I received another call from another sorority sister at another school that was the assistant principal. And she said, I heard you was at Madison Academy, and we want you here at Northridge. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, awesome.
So it just word of mouth, and it just happened.
Yeah. Any advice you can give? Because I know that not only when we were backstage, not only earlier in this interview, you talked about the students having challenges. Is there anything that you want to speak to if a parent is watching, or a school administrator or a teacher is watching this interview? Is there anything that you want to give them advice on? Because you were talking about, and I know that you mentioned COVID but there's some things that have been going on before COVID that have left our children, our students, kind of behind. Is there anything that you want to give charge or take action on
Well,
that you share?
I really believe, Marissa, that, it is a lot of lack of communication, assisting some of the kids. Some of the kids are delayed. And then here in Flint, we've had problems with the water. And so what we're doing is trying to collaborate with one another to do one-on-one to help those students where they can be successful, and get them into some of these programs, after school programs. They have a lunch and learn, during lunch hour, to help them where they're struggling at. And it was happening before COVID, but when COVID happened, it got kind of like out of hand.
Okay.
And so now all of us educators are really trying to put it together and make programs available for the youth where they can be successful in their lives. And the struggle is, if it don't start from at home, it's hard to maintain it at school. So if the parents can maintain it at home, we can guarantee you that we can make it successful at the schools.
And that's amazing. And so what kind of, like, so when you think about these kind of programs, share why they're needed. Also share the duration of the program. So because sometimes they have folks like you, professionals like you, come in and you do a program, but that's not going to be enough, because there's more that's needed, right? Reinforcement, because you talked about, this is how, because we call it in psychology, learning transferred, right? We want the learning that we're doing from the facilitators to be transferred to the student in such a way that the student can now apply it, right? Critical thinking, deductive reasoning, application of new knowledge. We want them to be able to apply it. And so share your heart about why programs like these don't need to just come in for a minute, but how they need to have, there needs to be a strategy that's projected long term.
Oh, absolutely. Because I'm there between 8 to 12 weeks. And sometimes it might be shorter, depending on, what's going on at the schools. And but what happens is they ask me to come back. So if I go back in the fall, they're going to ask me to come back in the winter or in the spring, where I can continue to educate and help. And then I look at it as being a mentor, because a lot of the students, they look at, they want to hug me, I'm glad to see you, Mrs. Robinson, and so it's being a mentor to make sure that they, whatever they're challenging in, that we trying to turn it around to make it successful for them.
Yeah.
And so when we do the program for the creative writing, what happens is that they come out with a book, a journal, and a book. And so those kids are excited. We do a first and second, third prize, where the first prize is like $100. The third prize is like $75. So those kids were eager to learn all the ifs and ifs and ands about it, where they could be successful in their books. And I'm gonna tell you, they had some good ideas, some good characters, some good stories, where it made it happen, where the principals was like, I can see the change already.
Wow.
Can you do our after school program in the fall? You know what I'm saying? So I had to hire more people where they can do it for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's incredible. And that's a beautiful thing, that you can hire people, have them come in. That's huge. That's a huge.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So congratulations with that. And it's so important for programs like you to get in. And I want to go back to what you said that was really, really that's missing sometimes, because we've gotten so afraid of lawsuits. We've gotten so afraid of getting into trouble, crossing boundaries. with the hugging of the kids. But
Mm-hmm.
I remember as a little girl, that was huge for me. The hugs of a teacher, even when you got older and into high school, the hug of a teacher, the teacher patting you on the shoulder and things like that. Now we've gotten to a place where you're so afraid of that. But people don't understand that a part of that is a part of love and affection for your student. And letting your, and it's also, it's affirming, it's reassuring, it's showing
Yes,
safety,
it is.
right? It's
Because
showing,
some of those kids are not getting it from home.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and so they expect to get it at school, or they want to tell you a story that's going on in their life or what's going on where you can listen because someone at home is not listening.
And as much as I love my mom and my dad was good with listening, but I didn't grow up in the household the bulk of the time. I went to see him in the summers. And that was one of because we got to know that our young people have love languages, right? We have love language, we worry about our love. We're so worried about our love language and love relationships. We have to learn how to see that in our young people, our kids, right? They have languages. They have ways that they communicate and understand and comprehend, and are more open to. And some of those love languages are affection, right? Touching and feeling, and so in that process, we also teach them boundaries. We teach them it's okay to be affectionate, because when they get older now, that's why they're awkward. When we don't share with our young people healthy boundaries of what should be natural, we kind of mess things up, and that's how they go into identity crisis. That's how they feel insecure.
Absolutely. Yes,
Right? So
indeed.
share about that. Share your thoughts because I know my thoughts.
Well, I'm not going to touch so much bases on that because we could go on and on and on. But it's a struggle with this new generation, and they have to go through a lot. And when I realized that the creative writing is therapy, because we journal every day, we talk about a topic, we show videos, and they enjoy it, and we try to find things that's interest of great interest where all the students will like it. We even had a zoologist to come in with pets because we knew that some of the kids love pets. So, we do what we can do where we can provide the information for them where they can love writing to be successful. Because no matter what type of job that you have to learn how to write. You have to know your verbs, your nouns, your proverbs to make sure that you write a full sentence. So, and a lot of students have been struggling where some of the students didn't even know how to spell beat, and they so used to using their cell phones on everything that they didn't know how to do anything manually. Because you can talk to on the phone and it'll give you the information. We say put cell phones up. We're gonna journal because this is our therapy for today.
Yeah, yeah. And we have to be in the present.
Yes.
And you won't have recall, right?
Yes.
So if you don't know how to master, like we had to know our telephone numbers. Like we had to know
Some of the
everybody's
kids did not even know their last names because the beginning of my journals, I need you to put your full name. And some of the kids did not even know their full name. They did not even know their last names.
This is not a joking matter. This is
No,
not
it's not.
a matter.
No, it's not.
And it's like, how did they get all the way to this point? And what grades are they?
I normally do from ages 7 to 13 for the creative writing.
And just think how much we take that for granted because we don't even think. Like when people are talking, they don't say your last name, they just say your first name. So we understand that as long as they're not in a formal environment, we can understand why that could be the case. But if they have been in school, it makes you wonder, like, at what point in school did no one ask you your name, your last name, or were you required to put in your last name.
Yep, you're right.
And this is why these things are so important. This is why, we got to have these kind of conversations, because we don't know what's going on. Especially for me, I am so far removed because my kids are grown. They're, I have grandchildren, but I don't take them to school and things like that. So that kind of conversation is no longer, but the conversation is needed. And we only find out through programs that are needed, like yourself.
Exactly. And it's like, when we were growing up, our parents made us learn our first and last name, our address, our birthday. You know what I'm saying? But the parents now, they're so busy, working and doing other things. They expect for the educators at the school to teach them all of that. But it got to start from home. That's what the parents need to understand. It has to start from home for us to help at school. Or after school program or youth program. We can't do it all within 8 to 12 weeks.
No, my God. And you know what it is? I don't even think that it's parents, they don't even realize that they're not doing it. They're so busy on autopilot that they don't even realize that they're not taking the time to teach them and to make sure that they know this information. And that's why it's like, you gotta, how do you connect? And that's why I wanted you to share with any of the parents or administrators or students or anyone that is listening in the academic environment, to say to them, hey, we got to be more aware of these things. We have to be more these common things, and not be sarcastic with the kid if the kid doesn't know, because the kid only knows what the kid knows, right? What he or she has been introduced
help
to.
Your child.
Yeah,
help your child.
Yeah.
Own up to it and help your child.
And so this is Own It September CoverGirl. We're so excited and honored to have you on the cover of the Own It magazine September issue. We're going to be talking for the rest of the month. We're going to be coming on live every Wednesday at probably 7 p.m. rather than 6 p.m.
Okay,
just to give us some time to really kind of finish off the day and be able to come in. But we're so excited to be here with you and to share. I want to go back to the titles of your book. We'll focus on that, since the conversation really led in that direction on your academic work and working in the school systems and helping them with their students. Share with them the books, the series. It's Nana Darcele's book series. Share with them the books again. You went on mute.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
So, I'm sorry. What was the question again?
No, just share with them about your book series. Share with them the book series, where they can get the book.
My books are on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Faith Christian Store. You can also go to www.nanadarcelestories.com and order the book, and it can be shipped directly to you with my signature on it. The books are $15. And then, as I stated before, for December, we will have the new book that's coming out for Christmas, and you will really enjoy it. I'm not going to tell you about the book because I want people to purchase it.
Yes. And that's a nice gift for the holidays.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a nice gift for the holidays. Do you think you're going to do any coloring books?
Well, actually, in my books are coloring books.
Okay.
So after the story, there's a couple of coloring illustrations in all 3 of the coloring books, and it will be for the Christmas book as well. And the Christmas book will be a snow globe with me and my granddaughter in the snow globe.
That is so precious. Oh my gosh, that is too cute. Any closing remarks for our audience?
All I would like to say is I appreciate Own It accepting me as the September cover girl. I'm just so excited, and all I can say is, dreams do come true. You just keep and stay focused and own up to it.
Oh my God. Yeah, take center stage and own it. Oh my goodness. It has been such a pleasure and treasure. I can't wait to dive more into your nonprofit organization, your foundation, With Love Foundation. I also can't wait to go into your sorority. I want to share with the audience about your experience as a sorority member and what that all entails. And it also too, because I understand, and we'll go into this the next show. I understand that you can come in. It doesn't, it's not always associated with you going to college anymore. That there are some points that you can actually come in later on in life. And so if there's anyone that's interested, I would like to tap into that to share with the audience your experience, if there's any opportunities. Also, too, about supporting your foundation, how they can get in touch and support your foundation. So, as you know, audience, across the ticker tape, the whole time we've been live, is Nana's collection series, her stories, Nana Darcele's stories.com, that it's been ticking away all the way up here. So make sure that you reach out, buy books. It's the holiday. And also, we're getting ready to enter literacy awareness months, October, November, National Family Literacy Awareness. Come on, this is the time. You want to buy from your local author, so make sure that you buy. You want to buy directly from her website because, as she said, she can give you a signed copy of her books. And you always want a signed author's copy. You want an autographed copy. And so we want to say thank you so much for taking out time of your extremely busy schedule. This woman is a world traveler, well as have multiple nonprofits. This is just one that she has up here, but she has multiple nonprofits. She's involved in the school system, making a difference. And she's doing a lot of community outreach work. And so we are so proud and honored to have her on our cover. And we're so excited to be having her come back lots and lots of times. So make sure that if you have any questions, you get them, you make sure you comment, and make sure that that you see her, that you're out there and that you see her. And if you have any questions, make sure you reach out. So we love you so very much. Have an amazing rest of the week, and we will be back soon. Take care.
See you soon.
We're out.